All right, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. It's my first time using my camera in Tennessee for a video. So, yeah, hopefully the quality looks good. Hopefully the ring light is all set up and the background is nice and bright. But basically, yeah, I just want to talk today about my story, where I started, how I got to this point of making $10,000 a month creating content and being able to travel pretty much every single month so far this year in 2024. And so it wasn't easy. Everyone thinks like, oh, it's an overnight success. It was like 4 or 5 years of just like working, locking myself in a room and just working on myself. So I went from shy and depressed back in high school to confident and basically free from content creation and working on myself. And I was able to bring my vision to reality because I believed and bet on myself that this vision that I have of myself in the future is possible. Like, God gives me this vision, or God gave me this vision for a reason, and my purpose is to bring it to reality and help others in the process as well. So if you're seeing this video and you resonate with that, I want you to understand that this is just the beginning. You are on a path that could take you in a direction and in a future environment where things are completely different, where you're living the life that you want to live, and you just have to trust the process and do what you feel called to do. That's what it simply comes down to. So I'm going to talk to you guys about strictly how I got into this, how I got started, and where I come from. So if you don't already know, I am from New York originally, not the city, upstate, where nobody talks about. So I was in a little hometown, little area where basically everyone knew each other. And I went to high school and I would post videos. I made Lego videos in middle school and high school just for fun, and it started to take off. I posted on YouTube. And I used to get like, I think 1 million views on one video, 2 million on another video. So it was popping. And me and my friends had like this little friendly competition of like, oh, who can scale the YouTube channel, who can grow it the fastest. And they were all doing gaming stuff. And I was like, okay, well, I like Legos at the time. Why don't I like make movies out of it? Because I enjoyed making movies as well. So I always had like that vision of like creating content, editing, and putting like my vision, basically like creating a story in my head and bring it to the big screen. That was my big thing. And I did that with Legos because that's what I had accessible to me at the moment. And it started to work and take off, and it allowed me to get to 5,000 subscribers. I believe as a freshman, I was making like $2,000, I think total doing this. And while it seems nice and awesome, this was probably the darkest time for me personally, because I allowed myself to identify with what other people were saying, right? Like, oh, you play with Legos, you're in high school, or oh, this guy is immature, or get a life, or grow up, like stuff like that. And I took it to heart because that was one of the only things that allowed me to feel like myself, was by creating content and making movies with Legos. And while I got older, I understand, like, I mean, yeah, you gotta grow out of it at some point, but hey, there's people nowadays that I know that, you know, build Legos for fun. Like, it really doesn't matter. Like, do what you want to do and what makes you happy. But for me, that caused me to go in a spiral of self-doubt, of insecurity, of not knowing myself, not really trying to do much throughout the day and just being lazy, because I was either afraid of what people would say about me, or I just didn't feel like I had a purpose anymore. I just felt like there was no reason to do anything, and that if I did what I wanted to do, people would have something to say. And even my parents would be like, oh yeah, you should be doing something else. And it was just like, it was a big cycle of just not understanding who I was as a person. And I looked for external validation in, you know, girls mostly, trying to, you know, talk to as many people as I could. And if things went south, and things got south, and, you know, I got in my head about that, was all butthurt and heartbroken for like, you know, however long. And it was just a bad cycle. Like, I had to break out of that. And the biggest turning point for me especially, which sounds crazy, was when the jab happened, when COVID came into the US. And basically, this allowed me to sit alone and actually talk to myself and acknowledge the fact that I am not where I want to be, and that I'm basically lying to myself. Like, I'm not living through what I feel God has called me to do and put me on this earth for. And at that time, I was also not close to God at all. I didn't have any relationship with Him, or I didn't have faith in any higher power besides maybe like the universe. I believe in the universe and all that stuff, but God wasn't really present in my life at that time. And so I decided to finally, you know, start saying, stop being a bitch and actually, you know, do the work, put the work in, and, you know, try making a change for yourself. And so I started by reading books, investing into myself, courses, learning as much as I could, as well as, you know, just making content again. And once I got into my senior year of high school, I was posting the content on TikTok, doing my thing, and I was not confident on camera at all. Like the way I talk right now, I was very hesitant. I didn't know like how to formulate sentences. I was just really awkward. And I would post these videos online, and people would always have something to say the next day. Be like, "Oh, bro, I saw your video, bro. Like, you know, good job." But they were like busting my balls, or like I started like a new business model, and they're like, "Oh, it's a pyramid scheme, bro. Like, you know, get a life, actually get a job and shit like that." And it was like I just had to block out the noise, and it allowed me to get a bit more tough skin. Because growing up, I was very sensitive. I'm still working on it to this day, but it allowed me to kind of, you know, break out of my shell and start doing what I felt called to do without, you know, having validation from other people. So that was a big turning point, and that basically just allowed me to recreate myself. It was like a 3-4 year period from 2020 all the way up until basically last winter, where I just went to the gym, invested into, you know, courses, networking, meeting people, trying a bunch of different business models and failing at them, and just overall, even college, just struggling, like trying to figure out like, okay, what do I want to do and who do I want to become? And during this process, that's when I learned that, you know, brands will pay you to create content for them, and I could create, you know, my own content and integrate it into there as well. So for the longest time, I was just like making content for free, doing things for free, and it was kind of tough because it was like, all right, when's this gonna pay off? And then officially one time I got like a big, you know, email from a brand saying like, yeah, let's work. And that made me like realize and open up my eyes, like, wow, I can actually get paid for making videos. And at that point, that's when that's when the ball started rolling. That was about last summer in July, I believe, July 2023. And we got that deal, you know, make content for them. And then after that, I did a lot of free gigs just to, you know, build up my portfolio, because you want to have a portfolio when you're showing brands, you know, like what kind of content you've done and what to show for. So that was important. For me, it took a while to build a portfolio, but if you guys want to get into this space of, you know, making content for brands as well, I have a portfolio template builder down below that you can get today. So just click that link and check it out if you're interested in that. But yeah, basically I started, you know, doing that and just reaching out to brands. I think I reached out to like 25 to 50 brands a day. And most of the time I heard no, most of the time I got no responses. But for all the ones I heard yes, I decided to capitalize on that and actually, you know, do what I could, the best I could, to the best of my ability, to get results for these clients. And as a result, it's allowed me to, you know, get re-signed, to work with them again, and get even bigger brand deals like C4, GoFuel, Control, some big name brands that I didn't think I'd ever work with, and now it's reality. So from that, I realized, all right, I'm making about 3 to 4K a month now. Let's keep it going. And I met a new mentor who's actually my roommate right now. It's actually kind of crazy, and he introduced me to the TikTok space, you know, creating content for brands on there. And so I started doing that alongside the UGC, and that's when I hit my first 10K a month at the end of last year in 2023, creating content. And it was just crazy because, like, you know, over the years, it's like, oh, I've been hearing like, oh, you can't do it, it's not possible. Or, oh, like, be realistic, get a job, shit like that. And when it happened, it just kind of like caused everyone to just kind of pause and like, you know, take a step back and be like, all right, well, this is working. That's kind of cool. Can you keep it up? And then got into 2024, and from that point, it's been pretty consistent, making like 5 to 10K a month, you know, every single month. And I've traveled about 6 to 8 times so far. I think like 2 of the times out of the country, and then I went to like California. I'm in Tennessee now. I was just in Florida. Went to Tampa once. Went to Charleston, like just all over the place. Costa Rica. It was a movie pretty much. It's been nonstop, and it's allowed me to get out of my comfort zone, learn more about myself, and overall, just understand and see the world from a new perspective of there's so much more out there. And if you just apply yourself and bet on yourself, you will always get the money back in return. It will always come back to you if you fully believe in what you're doing and stay true to you and what you believe in. So that's why I'm so heavy on bringing your vision to reality, and especially with content, because clearly, it worked for me. At first, it was tough and I didn't really, see results, but now that I got the blueprint and I understand everything, that it took to get to this point, I just want others to know that it's possible and that you can bring it to your reality as well. If you have a vision that you want to see yourself in, and a dream that you desire in the future, it's possible. So saying that, I have a program or an offer that I'm putting together at some point this month that I hope to launch very, very soon. So if you guys want to get in on that, I'm still developing it. I have a wait list down below that you can fill out. Just click that link and just put in your info so I can learn more about you. And then when it's ready, we'll be reaching out, look out for an email, and we'll be launching. I'll probably post another video on here as well, but yeah, I'm really excited to get this going. We got 3 months left of 2024. This year's been flying by, but so many blessings and great experiences have come from it. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, got a little bit more of an understanding of who I am as a person, my story, and where I come from. And yeah, to show you that it's possible and that you can bring your vision to reality if you really, really believe in it. So once again, my name is Ian McQueen. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.